It took a lot of different people to bring this together in a short amount of time, so I just want to quickly thank those people. John, the builder of this development, many of you guys know him. He basically got all the trades together. We made sure that this unit was going to be ready on a live construction site, so super cool. Dan, setting everything up. Thank you for the projector, huge. Not a projector guy myself, but Avery, who many of you guys have known and work with, seen him on your sites. Couldn't do this without him, so thanks, Ave. Keith, legend, been with us since day one with Scelta, so really cool to still see him here with us. And Jay, all those cool stickers you guys see on your desks are actually designed with us, with Jay on site, so pretty cool. And of course, the Scelta team, you guys will notice different faces in the crowd. They're going to come around and help you guys set things up when we do our live demo, so thanks to the team. So here we are, AI for Contractors. For those of you guys who don't know us, this is the Scelta team. We spent the last 3 years boots on the ground building technology platforms. Probably built 8 different platforms for just over 2,000 contractors. So over the course of this time, we realized that AI is now the thing that all contractors are going to require inside their businesses if they want to keep up with the demand. So today, just so you guys know the agenda for what you're going to leave with. First, a way to know where AI fits in your businesses. 15 real wins from real contractors, yours to steal, here in this room. So we've been running AI for Contractors now for 6 weeks. We've had a number of wins from those weeks. So I'm going to show you guys what those look like in practice, and you guys can do them today. And then lastly is an working AI estimator built on your laptop before you leave inside of a project. So we got a few cool things to show you. I'm just going to start with a question, and I've got a prize. Please don't look this up. I'd rather you guys all just pull it from your knowledge. But raise your hand if you've used ChatGPT. Pretty much everyone in this room. Okay. Now, for those of you who were at the last presentation, can't answer this question, but what does GPT stand for? Does anyone know what the G stands for? I was there. Okay. There's some espresso on the line for anyone who gets these answers right. G. Generator. Very close. Very close. I'm going to give you that one. It's generative. Okay. P. Very close. It's pre-something. Espresso for you. Pre-trained. Okay, so no espresso for that one. That's okay. And the T, the last one. Who got that? Okay. That's for you when you're done. Okay. So GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. So what does that even mean? All AIs that you guys are using are GPTs. ChatGPT just put it in their name. So just something that you guys all know. What does that mean? Generative means it creates new things for you. So it's generating you a response, it's generating you a doc, it's generating you an estimate, it's generating things for you. Now it's pre-trained on millions and millions of data points. So basically imagine if you read 1 million books and you saw 1 million websites, you would know quite a few things as well. It's the same thing with AI. It's pre-trained on all that pre-existing data online. And it's a transformer, so it has to transform and figure out what you're trying to do. So I'll give you a quick analogy. It's sort of like if I say I'm going to the bank, right? I could be going to a financial bank, or I could be going to the river bank, right? But AI is transforming the context to understand what I mean. It means, oh, he's going to a financial bank and not a river bank. So it's a little analogy to keep in your minds that it's transforming your context into meaning. So it knows what the next move is to give you the answer. Now, I wonder this often is like, am I keeping up with AI? Am I helping all the contractors I work with keep up to the latest cutting edge of AI? But then what I quickly realized was, I saw this recently and it sort of like stopped me in my tracks. This is the AI adoption globally. So all of these dots represent 3.2 million people. All the gray dots are people not using AI, believe it or not. All the green dots are people that have tried free conversational ChatGPTs. So there's a few. And you can't quite see in this corner, but there's a few orange dots. And those orange dots are people who are paying for AI globally, so paid programs. And there's one single red dot, and that's for people who are coding and creating things. Now the coolest thing is like, we only have 73 contractors in our AI for Contractors. I would say at least 20% of them are already building their own things. So we're talking like building their own dashboards, building their own estimators, building their own proposal generators. So you're in a very elite class of contractors just by being here. It's a rarity to even be considering AI. There's your stats there. Okay, so there's so many AIs, right? You guys have probably seen a lot of these logos, right? You've got your Metas, your NotebookLM, your Otter, Manus, Nano Banana. Many of these you guys have probably already heard of before. But you're wondering to yourselves, which ones should I use, right? There's so many, and I see all these pop-up ads. So I'm gonna show you guys how I choose what AI I'm gonna use. So I use a 3-step approach every time I go to use a different AI. I ask myself, is this a repeated task? Is this a task in my business that I'm gonna repeat over and over again, right? Is it an estimate I'm generating? Is it something that I'm scheduling? Is it a document I'm sharing? If it's a repeated task, it's great for AI. Is it a document-heavy task? Is it something that's document-heavy? It's got tons of PDFs, thousands of pages. That's perfect for AI because AI can sift through those pages, right? So repeated task, document-heavy, and then lastly, and most importantly, is it safe, right? A quick just node is stick to the big guys, stick to the well-known AIs, the ones that are early and just coming out. If you don't know them, you don't know the founders behind them, who's building them, I tend to stay away from those. And always keep a human in the loop. So human in the loop is actually a software engineering term, but it basically means don't just ship code without looking at it first. So the same thing goes with AI. Don't just trust the AI and ship it off to your clients without actually double human checking it yourself. So those 3 things. Is it repeated? Is it document heavy? And do I have a human in the loop that's gonna double check it before I send it out to someone? So think about that 3-step framework, and we're gonna go back to it as we build things. Okay, so now let's talk about the end state. So I'll give you a bit of an analogy. If I told you guys to get down in a plank, and I didn't tell you how long you're gonna be in that plank for, it'd be pretty stressful, right? By minute number 3 or 4, you might be dropping, you might be worried, when's this gonna end? It's the same thing when we work with businesses. Whenever we talk AI, it's sort of like, where's the end? When are we gonna stop, right? We've gotta work towards something. So we define this term called the end state. And just like every job has a scope, every job has a finish line, so should AI. So I want to define everyone's end state, the end state of your business, and I'll explain what that means. So these are all pillars that businesses have. You guys all have branding and marketing, you got financial health, you got sales and revenue, you've got operations, technology and data, strategy, leadership. These are all different pillars within your company. Now, what we do is we take each pillar in the company and break it down into a set of buildables. So I'm going to explain what buildables are in a second, but think about these pillars in your company. These are all things that you guys work on daily, right? Whether it's marketing, revenue, operations, you're always working on these pillars of your business. You're working towards some kind of end state. So what's a buildable? So buildables, if you take a look on this right-hand side here, these are a few examples, right? So every gap in your business is technically a buildable, right? Do you need a lead tracker, a job costing dashboard? Do you need a document reader, a meeting transcript recorder? Right? These are all maybe things you guys already have, but what you're doing is every time you build something, you're building towards an end state. There's a finish line. So before you start building AI and working with AI, if you actually take the time to define the end state of where you want to be as a company and identify the pillars of your company and what tools you need within those pillars to reach your end state, it'll be a lot more exciting to be building, right? Just like that plank analogy, you're going to plank for 7 minutes. That's quite long, but at least you know at 7 minutes you're done. It's the same thing with building AI. What's the end? Where's the end? Because you could get down a rabbit hole. I've been up many nights and forget time because I'm just building things on AI. What's the end? You guys would not want to work on jobs if there was no scope. I would assume so. Unless you're billing by the hour, that's fine. But you get the understanding. So, buildables. We're just building these up. Now I'm going to give you guys a few examples of buildables that we built with AI for Contractors, just to get your gears turning of what you could be building yourselves. So I asked a group of our contractors that are already in our AI for Contractors group, many of them are sitting amongst you guys here. I asked for the win, what they did, and what they used for that buildable. So I'm gonna go over a few examples. So 74 contractors, 6 weeks, real wins. So here's the first win, 4Leaf, shout out. They got their crew ready in under 24 hours. So how did they do that? They onboarded a 7-person demo crew with Google NotebookLM. So Google NotebookLM is a free tool. If you guys want to jot that down, you can upload all your project docs to NotebookLM, and then you can ask it to generate you summaries of the project. It turns into your own chatbot specifically for that project. It can also generate you slide decks. It can generate you mind maps. But let's just forget that for a second and just upload all your docs to Google NotebookLM, and then you can begin asking questions. Because Google NotebookLM then becomes an AI for your specific project. So Seamus and his team as examples, he uploaded all the documentation as for his demo job, and then began asking questions. How can I prep a 7-man crew that needs to start in 24 hours? So that's just win number one. Secondly, this is the Electrical League of Ontario that we were presenting to the other day, but we uploaded 49 project documents into a single NotebookLM, and we're able to ask questions specific to the job site. So you uploaded 49 documents, that your standard specs, your drawings, your scopes, your templates, whatever it might be. We just dumped them all into NotebookLM, and then we began asking questions to NotebookLM, and it provided us with answers instantly. So that saves that time of flipping through those binders on site. It just auto searches all the text that you have inside NotebookLM and gives you that answer. Now this one's for Young Electric. So a good example is a 212-page addendum came in for the project, right? So many of you guys who receive addendums and say you're a specific contractor, you're gonna have to go through that addendum, right? You're gonna have to flip through the pages, find what actually pertains to you, and act upon it. So what they did was built a Claude skill that pulls electrical scope from any addendum with page references. So again, bottom left corner is the tool they used, middle is what they did, and then the top is the win. So 3 hours saved, 212 pages using Claude. So next one, website lead to booking automated. So again, this was using Claude. This is one of our contractors in our group. But they connected their Google Calendar with all their appointments, it mapped it out, gave them customer information, phone number, connected to their CRM, cross-referenced every lead, so that it prepared them for their appointments. That's just another example that you can connect the AI to your calendar, to your lead CRM, whatever you're using, and it can pull that information for you, and when you're going to those appointments, you can just simply look at what AI is telling you, and it'll pull that information all into one place. Right, so that's saved about half hour off every day of going to job site appointments. It's like, what am I looking at? Where's the information? What's the client's phone number? Whatever it might be. It's all pulling from Claude, which Claude we're going to go over today too. Next one was with BK Cornerstone. So they built 7 custom GPTs. Now this is getting a little bit more advanced, but if you guys have used ChatGPT, you'll notice there's GPTs, right? So GPT is basically just like, it's not technically an agent, but it's just a context window. So think of it like a sandbox. So they have a sandbox where they dump in all their marketing, all their sales information, all their customer service, and their 500-page carry-on warranty. So they dumped it all into that sandboxes so that their teams could then use those GPTs to ask any questions that they want. So now daily, their office uses those GPTs. Right? So they simply just go on to OpenAI, which is just ChatGPT. They'll access the GPT. They'll ask questions about marketing. They'll ask questions about warranty, whatever it might be, and it'll give them those instant answers that they're looking for. Think about how much time that's saving too, right? These were all just wins that were maybe set up in a day, 2 days, 3 days, depending on the learning curve of the person. The next is addendum flags, right? So red, yellow, green addendum flags. So this is an example with Young Electric, but you asked it to break out the addendum file, broke it out into green, less concerning items, yellow, things that I should check, and red, these are alarming items. You should check these and pay attention to them. Right, so think about the process of doing that manually, right? You get the addendum, you're flipping through it, and then you have your Excel sheet next to you or you have an email next to you and you're saying, okay, what are the most important items from this addendum? What should I look out for? Well, if you put it into AI, it can get you 80% of the way there. Because what it's gonna do inside of Google NotebookLM is it's gonna quickly skim through all the pages based on what you asked it, and it's going to identify red, yellow, and green based on what your parameters are for what is red, what is yellow, what is green. So that way you identify that for the addendum right away without having to manually look through all the pages. So this one's interesting as well, is if any of you guys have used voice recorders. If anyone's tried a voice recorder with AI, well, you could do a meeting per se. So every meeting that Scelta goes in, first thing we do is we ask the client for permission. We say, are you guys cool if we record this meeting? It'll just make us a lot faster to send you back the proposal, and we won't miss anything. We don't have to take notes and distract ourselves during the meeting. And 99% of the time, the clients are cool with it, right? So if you guys had a meeting, maybe you're in a site meeting, maybe you're in your own internal team meeting, and you just throw out your phone, right? And you just turn on Otter, you turn on Granola, Fireflies, there's a whole bunch of them. Just pick the free one. And I mean, if you want to upgrade, you just have more minutes. But basically what you're going to do is you put it down, and then they used a second tool. So they took the transcript from the meeting, uploaded it to Claude, and said, please generate me a proposal based on this meeting I just had with this client. So it took the entire transcript, it read through that meeting, and it created them an instant proposal draft. Now that's not a final draft per se, like you may have to go in and change a few things, but it gets you 80% of the way there, right? And that's the idea. So it's another quick win that saves you that time from like, what did I say in that meeting, or let me look through my notes. It does it for you inside of Otter, and then using it inside of Claude and asking it to generate your proposal. And then I'll show you how you can add a proposal template into Claude so it knows what you like in terms of proposals. Next one was the Supreme, so scope and project breakdowns. You guys have to brief your teams oftentimes on what's the scope, what's the project breakdown. So the gentleman we work with at Supreme said, I use Gemini to draft scopes of work and step-by-step project instructions for this field staff in minutes. So they're drafting their scopes, they're drafting their project breakdowns by uploading the documentation, and then again, human in the loop comes in, identifies, okay, this is good, or this is missing things, or they'll ask AI, what was your reasoning for creating this scope, right? And you can get a little bit further. But it just takes a heck of a lot less time to do it yourself, or sorry, doing it on Gemini than doing it yourself. So that's an example for scope and project breakdowns. Next one is CNC. So this is a 2 to 4 hour time saving. So this is all for meeting prep. So Dan and his team, they automated their weekly CNC electrical manager meetings by pulling the last 24 hours of email activity, drafts the Thursday agenda in their standard format, turns it into post-meeting Firefly transcripts in 2-page minutes. So that seems complex in theory, but in reality, what Dan is doing is he's connected to his Claude. So he's using Claude. He's taking his meeting minutes, looking through all the past emails. So what he had to do was he had to connect his email to Claude, which we'll go through what a connector means afterwards. But once your AI knows your email, it can then go through it, and it can pull the information you want relevant to your meeting. So now, that 2 to 4 hours a week that Dan was prepping those meeting minutes, now they're just ready for him, right? So that's all contributing towards your end state, your buildables. How many hours can I save, and how much more productive time can I use on something else? That's the whole goal of building and pulling these AI tools and what you're using. So tints and tones are here today. For all you guys who are hiring and you're looking for new reps, right, or you're looking for new team members. So they conducted a ton of sales rep interviews the other week. So they had all these resumes, they had all these interviews, and they quickly had to sift through and be like, okay, who are our top candidates? So they put the parameters into Claude, and they said that we're looking for these types of candidates. They give a bit of criteria of what they're looking for, and then it scanned through all the resumes, all the meeting minutes, whatever it might be, and provided them with their suggestions of who they thought the best candidates were. Right? So that's a very easy way to skim through hundreds of proposals. Or resumes, sorry, not proposals. Using Claude. The next one is, this one's a little bit more technical, but if you want to start personalizing your AI map. So basically what this means is you're using a bunch of AI tools, right? And I've had a few contractors come up to me, some sitting in this room saying, Dave, there's too many AI tools to keep track of. So what I would say to that is, okay, go to your Claude, tell Claude, I'm using XYZ tools, right? Here's the reasons why I use these tools. Am I using them in the best fashion? Or should I be using different tools? Or can I consolidate them into one tool? You can ask these types of questions. Claude will analyze what you're using the AI tools for and then give you the perfect recommendation based on what it knows about your company. So this is a great example of organizing your AI tool stack, which just in simple terms is just what AIs do I use and why, right? And there could be some insights that you guys didn't know that maybe I should be using this one, or maybe I can use everything I need to on Claude, because Claude can do 90% of things, right? This is one we did with a large masonry company. So they're getting hundreds and hundreds of pages of drawings. But the guys on site, they wanted to be able to search by the drawing name, so the specific name on the page. They didn't want to have to go through the entire doc, flip through the 300 pages, and find what the page they're looking for. So what we did was we helped them with Claude, where now they have a project. They can upload those drawings and say, I'm looking for this specific page inside of my drawings. And now their guys on site can simply find that page instead of having to go through the entire long PDF of documents. So what Claude will do is it'll go inside that PDF, It'll parse all those document names so you can instantly find what you're looking for when you're on site, rather than having to scroll through. So again, we're just finding these savings here. And then last one, this is a fun one. This is one that we teach to everyone that we meet with, is renderings. So many of you guys have hired people for renderings. You may have hired us for renderings. Renderings now are readily available, which is very cool. So if you guys have an existing photo of a project, let's say it's a blank space, like this office, for example, right? We can take a photo of this office. We can go to Gemini. Make sure you go to create image. It's going to be like a little banana. It's kind of funny, but it's Nano Banana Pro technology. And what it's going to do is you prompt it, you give it an instruction, and it'll create a rendering for you on the picture you gave it. So we've seen a lot of contractors sitting right here, for example, if you're doing a renovation or you're doing a brand new house, for example, and you want to show the client what it might look like, you can simply just take a photo of the existing space and ask, okay, put this style of house on it. You could send it a photo, boom, up pops the house. You got a really cool rendering in seconds. Same with the renovations. Same with landscaping. If you're taking a photo of someone's backyard, I want to throw a pool, pergola, whatever it might be, AI can do that for you, and then you can simply just tweak it and change what you're looking for. So renderings are only getting better. I would recommend Gemini Nano Banana Pro. You do have to have a paid Google account, but for the $15, $20 you're going to spend a month, you're going to save thousands on renderings, and you're really going to wow your clients. So what just happened? So I just went through all these wins with you guys, right? These are all wins that happen from people sitting in this room, which is really cool, right? These aren't just a tech team building these things in the background. These are contractors themselves with no technical background, no coding skill, building these things themselves, which is super cool. But what did they do? They followed the 3-step framework, right? Was it a document-heavy task? Was it a repeated task? Did I keep a human in the loop? Is it safe, right? Lastly, they're building buildables, right? So I don't know if buildable is even a word, but that's the term that we've coined. The buildables contribute towards the end state of your business. So all those 13 or 15 examples I showed you guys, they're all building towards the end state. So imagine your company's had all those tools that I just showed you. You had everything in motion. Then you're 30, 40% the way there of what a full-fledged AI-powered business needs to be. Is there an aspect or component within your business that's missing an AI tool? And one thing we're going to give to you guys for free today is an end state audit. So it's going to walk you through the pillars, and it's going to ask you about the buildables, and you guys just say yes, no, kind of, I want to improve it, and you'll be able to get your own audit and scorecard today after this meeting if you want to scan and try for yourself. So it'll identify all the missing buildables that your business might need. So what's the secret sauce for AI? What makes AI outputs so cool? Does anyone have kind of the answer? What makes AI so good for you individually and not just for everyone? It's context. It's context. So again, I'm a big analogy guy, so I'm going to give you an analogy of the 50 First Dates. Has anyone seen this movie, 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler? So it's a great example of context. So Adam Sandler has to go on 50 dates with this lady and has to win her over because she has amnesia and forgets every day. So every day they go on a new date, he has to win her over. Well, that's kind of like you using AI if AI didn't know you, if you gave it no context. So every day you go to reuse AI, it's sort of like, oh, hello, Josh. Nice to meet you again. We don't want that because it's just wasting time. You want to give it context so that every time you go back to it, it knows who you are. You don't want to end up like Adam Sandler. So just remember that analogy. Now, how do you give context? So now is the fun part. Now we get to build things. So the best way to build context is to first build projects. So this works on ChatGPT. It works on Claude. So for any of you guys who have your laptops out, if you're a Claude user, open up Claude. If you're a ChatGPT user, no problem, because we can also do it on ChatGPT. So I'll give you guys a second. Anthony from Scelta is one of our AI engineers. If any of you guys have problems, he'll just come around and make sure you're set up on projects. So I'm going to give you a quick little intermission to set that up, and I'm going to pull up mine as well. And sorry about the Wi-Fi, you will have to hotspot. No Wi-Fi. Got Claude there. Claude. ChatGPT, Claude.
Platform? Like
Chat or Claude.
chat or Claude?
Yeah. Which one you got, Joel? Chat, nice. How are you doing, sir? Good to see you.
See you too.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Well, you can use Claude. Download Claude. It's free. Claude is more powerful than ChatGPT. Yeah, 10 times. Yeah, way powerful, yeah. But a lot of enterprises that I've been talking with said they're only allowed to use Copilot.
Right.
So they're kind of,
We had that conversation yesterday.
yeah,
Because of how expensive it is once you have to start using Code.
yeah.
Like 140 is
Well, to give you some context, our size of our team with 8 guys, we're $4,000 a month for Claude. Yeah, in tokens. Because you pay for the user, but then you pay for tokens. But the output is, it's worth it for what it can do.
I just have the website.
Oh yeah, you're good. Back at it, Joel.
Yeah. I haven't used it.
You're gonna go to that thing and go to projects. Perfect. All right, now I'm gonna show you where to go from there.
You guys used Claude or Chat?
Claude.
Yeah, better?
Yeah. For anyone who's asking, everyone's saying Chat or Claude. We're biased. Claude is way more superior than Chat. So if anyone wants to try Chat, try Chat. But Claude, I would highly recommend using Claude. It can do a lot more. Yeah. But yeah, 100% Claude. Oh, sorry, you're on Chat. So, or use AI. Okay, interesting.
Sorry. I went to
Should you be creating like a specific project for them?
If you want to start one, I'm just going to go over projects. But if you want to create a specific project,
Oh, okay. I just like see some people like opening it and not being like, where do I go from here?
oh yeah, I'll tell them once I get.
next. You to go?
Good to go. Okay, you got it open, sweet. Oh, you got Claude. Let's go.
What's that?
That's.
What do you want me to write there?
Oh, you're good. I'm going to show you in 2 seconds. Claude. Guys, all set?
Yeah, I'm just
Cool. Sweet. Claude. Dan's already dialed. He's got all his projects set up.
Bro, 4 projects.
4 projects. Yeah, Zach was saying, oh yeah, Keith, he's, I don't know if he's using AI. I'm like, dude, this guy is Mr. AI. But Zach's getting a lot out of Notebook, which is cool. Yeah. Hey, he's a great example. You got 2. Yeah. He'd be a weapon. He'd be a weapon. Okay. I walked around, everyone's got their projects open. Awesome. No problem. You guys are advanced at tints and tones.
Getting there.
You guys are
Trying to.
building your own AI tool belts.
Trying to, yeah. We're honestly, if we could like shut down everything for a week.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about, it's just because I'm needed in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And so it's like it takes a decent amount of time to build
Yeah.
this out, but like I keep talking about the benefit of like just shutting down for a
Yeah.
week and just doing a whole AI crunch.
Yeah.
Just building out everything because we've got it mapped out, but it's like we're just like chipping away at it.
Yeah.
And it's taking a long time.
And it requires deep focus for like a good 7 hours, 8 hours. Like, I don't.
I don't have many 7-8 hours.
Right.
but
And you got your baby too, right? Recently. Congratulations. Yeah. But you guys are ahead of the game. I mean, you're already mapping AI tools and yeah.
There's some other cool things we're working on that I don't think anybody else is doing, so I'll try to do them.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring it up when we ask questions.
Close up. Act natural. You got this. You got this. You're good.
All right. Everyone's set. Okay. Okay. So I want you guys to quickly navigate to this sidebar. Everyone see this little side box called projects? If you're on ChatGPT, it looks like this. It's projects here on the left-hand side. So everyone's navigated projects. Okay, so what is a project and why should we use projects? Well, we might as well ask Claude, because Claude probably knows better than I do. So projects are like sandboxes. So they have persistent context, meaning that, here, I'll zoom in, sorry. Okay, so everything inside of a project stays together, right? So that means that if you're working on something and you don't want Claude to forget it, you put it into a project. Because every time you go back to that project, it's going to remember all your conversations. So you want to keep things inside of projects. Secondly is you can give projects instructions. So if you start getting good at things and you're saying, hey, that time we did that estimate, I want to do that again next time I come to this project. You can create something called memories. So if you create a memory within a project, now every time you go back to that project, it's going to remember what you did. Third is it's shared knowledge. So within a project, have any of you guys ever tried to upload documents to a chat before? And then you go back to that chat and it forgets about those documents? It's annoying, right? But if you upload those documents to a project, it'll always remember those documents. So it keeps that persistent memory and it acts as a sandbox for what you're trying to do. And then the third and the coolest is that you can organize them. Like your chats are this long just list of chats, but your projects are these containers. So you can say like, this is my estimating project. This is my sales and strategy project. This is my customer service project. So you can start to organize yourself and your company. And third and most cool is that you can share projects. So you can share projects amongst team members. So you could say like, I'm going to share with Keith, who's going to share with Zach, who's then going to share with Luke, and they're all working within the same project. So you don't have to call them and say, hey man, I just did this cool thing on AI. Here's what I did. It'll have all that history. So as soon as you share a project with someone, it has all that history of what you're working on with that project. So if you got team members and you want to work on things together, share the projects with them. So what does that look like here? So I created you guys 4 initial projects. These are, you guys can choose whatever you want, but I created one for strategy. And I gave it instructions that you are the strategy leader of my company. Right? So you're going to give me some strategy about what I should do next. I'm this company. I'll explain how you explain it to that. I also created a project for office and admin. So all those little tasks that you got to do, whether it's billing or receivables, or it's reaching out to people, or it's contacts, or it's standard operating procedures, they can all live inside office and admin. Then, the fun one is estimating, right? All of us in here have to do estimating. So we can create one specifically just for estimating. So it learns your process, it learns everything you need to know about estimating. So every time you go back to do a chat, you go to estimating. If you're doing an estimating chat, you go straight to that project. Another one is customer and crew communication, right? So drafting emails, drafting crew communication, drafting whatever it might be. If you speak in a certain language, maybe it is a different language, but a certain tone, a certain charisma, right? You can train the AI inside that project to speak like you want to speak it, like you want it to speak. So what does it look like inside of a project? So I'll give you an example. Let's go to estimating. So let me zoom out for a second. So this is what it's going to look like. This is the interface. So right now I'm inside of a project. Yes?
Sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
Does it make more sense to operate, we'll use estimating for example, should I put all my estimating jobs under one, or should I be creating individual projects for my projects?
If you create individual projects for your projects, it'll start to lose context. So if you keep everything in estimating, you can create chats for projects. So I wouldn't create individual projects for projects. I would keep it all in estimating. And then just create a new chat for a new project, because you can preload all your data in there of your template and stuff so you can live in that project. Because every time you go back to speak with that project's just going to get smarter and smarter and smarter. So yes. Any questions as I'm going through, please feel free, now that we're in the demo part, just feel free to raise your hand and we'll go back to the deck if there's any more questions as well. So first thing at the top is that short paragraph. So I had to tell it who I am, right? So what did I type in? So I said, this is, again, AI helped me out with this, but you are the estimating assistant for my contracting business. You enter your trade. Are you residential decks, electrical, plumbing, GC, roofing, fence, HVAC? You enter in your trade. Then what's your service area? Where do you serve, right? Is it Windsor, Essex, London, wherever it might be? What's your typical project size? Do you work on $5,000 projects, $80,000 projects, $800,000 projects? Give it some context for your size and your revenue project. When I send you a customer inquiry, you will always, 1, pull out the scope, what the customer is asking for, materials mentioned, location of work, timeline, and any constraints. You will, 2, flag what's missing, the questions I need to ask before I can quote it accurately. Give me a ballpark price range, never a single number. Always a low and a high based on similar past jobs. So to answer Keith's question, when he said, should I create new projects? My answer was no, you shouldn't. You should keep it in one estimating project. Because then if you say, compare it to past jobs, it can compare it based on the past jobs in that project. That's the benefit of keeping everything in one space. Then draft me a short professional reply I can send back to the customer that asks the clarifying questions and let them know the next steps. The tone for the customers, you can change this however you want, but I just put friendly, direct, no jargon. We are tradespeople, not salesmen. Always end your output with, review this before sending. I am a draft. I am not final. Again, human in the loop. Got to have that human in the loop, confirming it before you send it out. Now this prompt can be as long as you want it. You can get real custom with this. This is a very generic one that I just threw in, but however you speak, however you want it to say things, what you want it to extract. Now you're probably wondering, what do I put in this project to get my output? Well, you put in all your project documents. But let's say it's a project that you don't have documents. All you have is a client communication back and forth via email. Take your emails, export them to PDF, copy and paste them, drop them in here. Any context that you can pull from, whether it's emails or it's meetings or it's documents, the more context about the project, the better answer you're going to get. So pull that all out. Even if it's a voicemail, you want to pull a voicemail. You pull that voicemail, you upload it to AI. What did this client want? What did they leave me a voicemail for so I can instantly respond to them? So I'm going to go back here. Now, instructions. These are also additional instructions that you can add. So the difference between the description and the instructions, just to explain this, the instructions here are specific project instructions. This is a description for both your team that's using this project and the AI. So if you want to explain to your team, what is this project for? That was my mistake, but this is where you would explain to your team what this project is for. And then in the instructions, on this right-hand side, that's where you would hit this pencil icon, and you'd notify what it's doing for you. And you can make that instruction set as long as you want. So for anyone who took pictures of these instructions, I'm happy to send them to you and get you started with a preliminary set of instructions. It'll be posted inside AI for Contractors, that community that we build. So the next thing that's most important is files. So this is not project-specific files. This is your estimating files. So that's where people make the mistake. They'll upload specific project documents to projects. It's going to confuse the system because every time you do an estimate, it's going to go to those specific project documents, not the templates. This is where templates live. So if you have an estimating template, a proposal template, you'd put it into files. So if I just hit this plus button here, add files, I can upload them from my device. And really cool is I can just add text context. So say I don't have a document, but I just want to give it another instruction or another written something, I can just write it in as context. So again, we all remember what context is. Context is the secret sauce so that AI never forgets who we are. So let's say I had my estimating template in here. What else do I put in here? Well, I would put my proposal as well. I'd give it an example of a proposal that I'd send to clients. So if you guys have a finished, nice-looking proposal, upload that nice-looking proposal to the project and say, look at my proposal inside the project. That's what I want you to match. That's my framework. That's what I like it to look like. Then you can go a step further and be like, here's my pricing list. Here's my standard hourly rate. Here's my material rate, whatever it might be. Add all that context in there. So then you literally will just get to the point where you say, I just had this conversation. Please generate me an estimate per proposal. And the more information you give it in the front end, the less information you have to give it every single time. So it's a bit of a lift at the beginning, but once it's set up, it's incredible. You can get a proposal back pretty much same day. So now let's say you want to just share it with team members. So I just quickly signed up for a free account just to show you guys an example. But on the pro account, caveat, it's $20, just so you guys know, it's the preliminary point of entry. Then you can share it with team members. So once you share it with team members, they also have access to their project. So when they log into Claude, that project will show up inside of their projects. So this is great for, like, even for us at Scelta. If I just had a great conversation with Claude, I'll just tell my team member, go check out this project, ask it the questions. It'll be way faster than me at explaining it to you. So if I just met with this client, here's my transcript, I send it to my team, we say like, okay, can someone, who wants to work on this one? Okay, put this one into Claude, great. I can just go back to Claude when I have some time, take a look, and I can see the work they did. I can see what they generated. Same thing for Office and Admin. So here's my instruction set. Again, very similar. The job is just to produce professional, clean documents you can review and send. You handle change orders, invoices and progress draws, certificate of insurance, request emails, subcontractor agreements, all those type of things. So the best way to do this is, let's go back to the end state for a second. So once you've identified the end state of your business, what are the things that I'm missing? What are the gaps in my business? Well, am I missing a change order process? Am I missing a COI, certificate of insurance process? Am I missing a safety document process? Whatever you're missing is a great thing to add as a project that Claude can do for you. Is it document heavy? Is it repeatable? Probably can be a Claude project. Now I'm talking a lot about Claude. So for all you guys that are ChatGPT, it's very much similar. So same thing with, it just looks a little different, but I got my chats, and I've got my sources. The one thing I don't love about ChatGPT is that it doesn't have instructions. So you can't really instruct it. You have to build your own document and title it instructions. And you have to, every time you want to change that, you'd have to upload a new document and a new document. So it's a little bit less friendly on the project side, but it's still possible. You just have to create your own doc and upload it to ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is, real quick, if you guys don't know exactly how to use your first estimating project inside of Claude, you're going to ask it, what answers do you need to the questions to help me prepare an estimate for my company? So I also just use something called Wispr Flow, which I'm going to plug them as this is working, but I just used a button on my computer that turned into a microphone. It's called Wispr Flow. It's WISPR flow.com. Not a plug, not affiliated, but if you just download it, it's free. It goes on your computer, and you can voice activate all your text. So it's a really cool tool because everyone here can talk faster than we can type. I think it's like 10 times more. So that's a little hack there. Okay. So what type of trade are you? Let's just say HVAC. And question number 2, I operate in Windsor, Essex. And my typical project size is 500,000. Okay. So I'm just asking it to ask me a series of questions. Yes?
And when does it give you a pop-up with multiple choice versus just asking questions?
Yes. So there's something here. You can just ask. Please ask me in multiple choice. There is a function on the Pro where you just hit the sidebar and it says, ask me in multiple choice, but there you go here. So you'd prompt it and it would do it for you. So again, is it residential? Is it light commercial? Is it commercial industrial? Let's say it's commercial industrial. Okay. Now what it's doing is it's not only looking at the documents, but it's also looking at anything online in Windsor, Essex, right? So okay, so it has its context. Now it says, okay, what's the scope? What's the missing info? What's the ballpark range, low and high? And then draft me a reply, right? So what I would do in this case, where would I upload my project docs? Inside the project or inside this chat? Chat, yes, exactly. So I would upload my documents, I'd upload my scope, I'd upload my drawings, I'd upload my context, whatever it is, inside this chat. Just by hitting this plus button. I just go add files. And the cool thing too is you can actually add photos. So if you're someone that's just doing a renovation and you're going to someone's house, they don't have drawings, right? I want you to do this work in my house. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a photo of this area. And the cool thing is Opus. So I'm on Sonnet right now because it's the free version, but on the pro version, there's Opus. Opus is incredible at reading images. It's their latest model. And what it does is the technical term is called vector, but it has vector space, so you can identify what's on the actual photo and pull that information. So you can add photos, you can add documents, you can add context, whatever you guys want. Now, it's a bit of a fallacy. So people think I should use the less powerful models in AI so I don't spend so much money on tokens. But believe it or not, the more powerful AI systems are more efficient than the less powerful ones. So they may cost more, but they're going to give you shorter answers. And they're going to give you more to the point answers. Right? Versus if you use a lesser model, it's going to ask you a bunch of questions to figure out what you're trying to do. So it's actually the reverse. Use the more powerful models and spend less on tokens versus the less powerful models spending more on tokens. That's a bit of insider scoop for you guys. Now, yeah. That's important too. So yeah, you could do that for personal tasks too. But it's interesting. So you mentioned that, a personal task. One thing I'd recommend to you guys is if you are going to do personal things on AI, so you bring up a good point, I'd recommend having 2 accounts, right? You can have private chats on your company, but if you do personal stuff on AI on your business account, it's going to skew your context a little bit. So if you are doing like personal things, whether it's golf or it's booking a reservation or planning a trip, do that on your personal accounts. Just because you don't want to muddy up your business data. So keep that inside of other different accounts and do all your business work on your company account. Now, for those of you guys who are very interested in Claude or even ChatGPT, the account that I would recommend getting is an enterprise account where you can invite team members. So you have to have minimum 5 team members. It's called an org account. I think it's around $200. And you're going to notice pretty quick, your team's going to run out of tokens. And I have this big conversation with contractors all the time. It's like, I ran out of tokens. I was trying to do this thing. How can I spend less tokens? Well, the thing is, as human beings, we're a little bit lazy, right? Naturally. We want to ask a short question, get a great answer, right? But the longer the question, the more context you give it, the better the answer you're going to get. Because every time you follow up with a question or AI needs reference, you're using more and more and more tokens. So that first entry is so important. Give as much information as you can in that very first entry if you want to maximize your token usage. And a second hack, which not everyone knows, is if it answers your question wrong, and you're like, I got to ask a new question. Don't ask a new question. Okay? Edit your question. Hit this pencil and edit your question. Because it's not going to run a new query. It's going to run an existing query and correct it. So there's hopefully that saves you $500 a month. But just edit your questions. Don't ask a new one. Now, the easiest way to get a lot of text out, instead of typing it, because we don't want to have to sit there and type forever, if you want to download Wispr Flow, download Wispr Flow. If you don't, use this voice memo here. So check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, stop. So it's kind of sketchy. It didn't really work. Oh, yes, it did. No, it didn't. Okay, it didn't work. The voice functions inside of the chat engines are not the best. So if you guys are wondering what Wispr Flow is, our entire team uses Wispr Flow. It's this. And it just downloads right to your computer. So if you have a Windows or a Mac, you can just simply download this, and it'll just become a key on your computer. So when I hit this little button down here, see that little icon that pops up in the bottom for those of you who can see it? That's it recording my voice right now. And then if it didn't catch it, and I'm like, oh shoot, where'd it go? I can just go copy paste. Which, that might be the wrong information, but that's okay. That's the idea of Wispr Flow. It's a free tool, dictation, it'll be a lot faster. Yes, so if I clicked on Wispr Flow, it keeps all your past prompts. And then you can go here and paste that. So if you ever forget, if you ever like, oh shoot, where did that Wispr Flow text go? Just click the Wispr Flow app. It keeps a log of all your past, what you said. Yes.
Sometimes when I forget to click where it says reply and the thing's not flashing, I'll talk, but Wispr Flow will know I want to paste it in there. I'll try to paste it, and it'll say Control Shift then hit paste, and you don't have to go to Wispr Flow, it'll just have it saved.
There you go.
If you miss it, it'll remind you how to put it back in.
Perfect. That's even better. The cool thing is too, is it'll correct your voice. So if you say things like or and, or oh shoot, I meant this, Wispr Flow will, I don't know how it does it, but it automatically corrects what you were saying, and it gives you a perfect sentence. So it pulls out the ums and the ahs and the oh shoot moments, and it just gives you a perfect sentence. So I'm just gonna go back to this real quick. So okay, I was thinking to myself, what's the best way to set you guys up for success with AI? Well, the best way is to help you build projects first. Because everything you build around projects, then you're going to graduate to things like Claude Cowork, where now it's working inside your computer. Then you're going to start building your own dashboards, right? You're going to slowly go up things. So everyone asks me, how do you get started? The best way to get started is to create projects for your company, take the end state audit, understand where you need to get to, and then identify, okay, here's the missing gaps in my business. How can I leverage AI projects to fill those gaps? Right? You can do that in ChatGPT or you can do it in Claude. Now, one quick little thing I missed is the next graduation, which I'm going to show here, is connectors. So, real quick. So let's say you came to this session and you already know Claude pretty well, and you're like, Dave, show me the next thing. This is the next thing I would say to master, is to understand, how can I connect my Google Calendar? How can I connect my Google Drive? How can I connect my Gmail? So Anthropic, which owns AI, or owns, well, most of AI, but owns Claude, they have all these connectors. So if you want to say, check my Gmail, you have to connect with Gmail first. If you want to say, check my calendar, you have to connect with your calendar first. So any apps you want Claude to interact with, you need to have these connectors set up. Now for any Microsoft users, this also works for Microsoft, so it's not just Google. And skills are a whole different thing that we'll get into, but this is familiar. So the whole point here is AI is not the future, right? Like we're saying, okay, it's in the future, it's going to happen. AI is happening right now, right? And AI is not necessarily, it's not going to replace you, but the teams that are using it better will outrun us, right? Because they'll be doing things a little bit faster. They'll be spending their valuable time on a little bit more valuable activities, right? So a lot of it is about speed and spending your time doing higher value activities. Because at the end of the day, you guys are all experts in your domain. AI cannot do your jobs. AI does not know the landscape business as well as you do. It does not know HVAC as well as Joel does. It does not know these things as well as we do. But it can do the repetitive and document-heavy tasks for us, right? So think about that lens. And then you guys don't need to be technical to work with AI. I mean, I'm an Italian major, no coding background. I'm pretty proficient with AI at this point. So the idea is like anyone can really work on AI. It's just putting in reps. I've just been using AI a little bit longer than you have, and I can do things. But I'm blown away every week at these meetings that we have with contractors when they come back to me and say, Dave, check out my profitability dashboard. I connected to my Procore account. It's like, it's so cool because they just spend time toying around with it, playing around with it, creating projects, and coming back with different tools. So do not need to be technical. You guys are already the experts. You just need to talk to it and extract information from it. So how can you keep learning this? If you like today's session, you want to keep learning about AI, and you want to kind of understand what tools are, we do a weekly meeting every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. If you guys want to meet, you can join our meeting. It's online on Google. Every week we pick a new tool, we go over it, we demo it live. You guys ask questions, you bring what you built, and we go over it together. So that's AI for Contractors. It's a free group. There's no cost to join. You just join, and then you can invite your team, whoever you want. And we're going to pick new AI tools every week and upload resources. So all the resources from today will be posted inside the school community for AI. So I'll leave that up there. Now I want to open it up to questions. Any questions that anyone might have? I know I threw a lot at you, but I hope it wasn't Too much. Or any wins you want to share, anything that's really changed your business that might help someone else in the room today by using AI. Yeah.
Say you build all these projects, you get everything in, okay, now I'm uploading my prints or whatever. Is it comparable to like takeoff software or things like that? Is it going to generate you a full quote?
It'll generate you an initial quote, but it won't be perfect. So it'll give you an initial takeoff of like, here's what I see, here's what I've identified, but it's about 75, 80%. It's not 100% of the way there yet.
It'll do like it'll learn materials, like I guess like a physical itemized list of, hey, I plugged it in here, now I'm submitting to my supplier for a quote.
It will hallucinate sometimes, so I wouldn't 100% rely on it. But Seamus, you wanted to respond to that?
I do it for like our hourly service. I'll take pictures of what I need. Obviously, I'll let do it like with the whole house and plumbing, but like it's like 80%. It'll break down everything. If you teach it what you need, like for instance, we tell it like how much strapping we need for this, etc. We've done it so many times that now it knows, okay, the wall needs this much. Every 16 you need this many steps.
Yeah.
It'll get you like 80% there, but I wouldn't rely on 100% like he's saying. But it's
Yeah.
and mechanical drawings are decent.
Yeah.
Decent. Again, not perfect. Yeah.
So the way we're doing it right now to test with contractors is like, for example, we would meet with Young Electric and be like, let's try and do a takeoff for an electrical set of drawings. And then I would ask the experts and be like, okay, well, you're in this field, you do it every day. Did it get it right? And then I'd go to Joel and be like, let's do an HVAC plumbing takeoff. And then I'd try AI do it, and I'd say to Joel and Jeff, be like, how do we do, guys? And you like, that's the point that we're at right now. We're just still in the testing phase with individual contractors. So even custom home builders like yourself, like, quote me this job. I'm just curious, like show it next to your quote versus the AI's quote and see who's better, right? With painting, yeah.
I think for what Josh is getting at, you're probably not far off from that, but I think the amount of specific information you would have to give it, you could, but now you'd have to be linking supplier websites that would track pricing. You'd have to have all your labor rates in there. Like, I think you're not far off from it, but you'd probably be a week of setting it up, making sure you have all the information in there.
Yeah.
But then you're still double checking.
Yeah. Yeah. Keith brought up a great point, is to upload your price lists. So if you have existing price lists from your suppliers, that's really good context for it to pull that. And then once you have your quantities, it'll match the two together and give you your list. That's
It's running smoothly. You're just constantly making sure those prices are up to date so you can do the most accurate.
yeah. 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 So I'm just going to go back through a few of these wins too. Did any of these wins catch someone's eye? That's something that they wanted to try themselves? Hiring, meeting prep, scope and project breakdowns, 20-minute calls, proposals. I mean, realistically, these are all things that we'd probably want to try, right? So what we'll do is we'll upload this entire deck to the school if you guys want to try these things out. But the best thing you could do right now is ask yourselves, okay, I'm going to take this end state audit, which just simply I think it's maybe 70 questions, but it's pretty quickly to fill it out, maybe take you 5 minutes. But you just go through the pillars of your business. It'll give you a final tally at the end. I'll show you what it looks like so you guys can have a visual. Let's see here. Okay, so test. Okay, so it looks super simplified, but you first go through branding, and you're like, okay, do I have a website? Great. Have it, don't have it? Great.
This is on your website?
Yeah, it's on our website if you just go to the AI for Contractors page. So you could say, yeah, I have a website, but it's not that great. I want a better one, right? It's okay, so I have it, but it needs work. Do you have your Google My Business profile set up properly? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Do you have Google reviews? Right? Yes or no? Do I have social media pages? Yes, I got them. Do I have logo and brand files saved so I can feed the AI? Great. Do I have brand standard docs for my company? So, do I have a photo library I can feed to AI? Do I have a client proof bank? What is a client proof bank? A client proof bank is just like videos and testimonials from all your past clients. You can keep it all in one place so you can pull on it when necessary. A branded template library, email signatures, Google listing posts, whatever it might be, video library. This is all branding related. But then if I go to sales and revenue, do I have a branded proposal template? Do I have a scope protection contract just in place, just in case? Quote and change order template. So these are a lot of things you guys already know, but it's just us having worked with 2,000 people. It's like, these are the things that we constantly see within businesses, and the ones who have all of them have a complete end state business. And don't worry, not many do have all of them. So I'm just going to go through this. Operations and field. Do you have an estimating process in place? If you were sick tomorrow or you couldn't work tomorrow, does someone else can come in your company and estimate with you or for you? Crew checklists on site. Daily site reports. Do you get daily site reports? So I'm not going to go. There's 75 items, so there's quite a few. You guys can do this yourselves, but I'll just show you what it looks like at the end. We get into strategy and leadership. Do you have annual goals? You have 3-year goals? You have quarterly priorities? Monthly revenue tracking? Do you have a hiring roadmap? So I have all these. Job descriptions, how we work, performance reviews, social media policies, pay and growth structures, benefit summaries, whatever it might be. Financial health, outstanding invoice tracker, monthly number reviews, 30, 60, 90-day cash positions, right? Okay. So it gives me my score at the end. So I have, really quickly, randomly, 73% overall coverage. I've got 41 in place, 24 I can improve, and 8 gaps identified. So the idea is like, we don't work with anyone, or we don't want any company to start using it until you understand what are the gaps that I need to fill first, right? Like I said on the analogy, right? We don't want to start anything we don't know if there's a finish to. You don't want to start a job with no scope. Build your own company scope. Understand what's missing. So you download the report. What does the report look like? Well, it's a personalized template for your company. So if any of you guys want to do this report, take it back to your team, understand what you're missing, try and implement it yourself, implement it with someone else, whatever it might be, implement it with us. The whole idea is here's your list and here's your pillars. So if there's any more questions, any thoughts?
So this is all free. You're teaching us how to do this all. Where do you come in and how do you make money?
If you want us to implement it for you, right? So if you do the end state and you're missing all these gaps and you want us to come in and build those gaps for you with you over time, that's where we come in. So we do the end state audit with every company. We identify where they're at, where they need to be, and then be like, we're building these things for you. All along the way, you stay with us. And then once you're done, you have your end state. Hey, I'm comfortable on my own now, Dave. Okay, cool. Or we want to keep going. We want to keep pushing the envelope. Thanks for asking. No one.
We're going through it. We're going to get started. We're going to start putting all the stuff in. Okay, we're at a road, like we're at a crossroads. We need to call you for advice. Now, do you do consulting like that as well? Or you can say, hey, look, come on in for 2 hours. We'll show you how to do it. Gladly pay you for your time. But
Yeah.
do you do it on that kind of a basis as well?
Yeah. Yeah, we do that currently with companies. So interestingly enough, nowadays, anyone in this room can build their own software. So we were building software, right? And then AI came in and was like, well, now everyone's a software engineer, right? So anyone can go online, build your own app. So it's like, what is the value of software engineers? It's less so now about the actual building, and it's more so now about the implementation, understanding what needs to be built, the security around it once you do build it, right? So we've actually stopped building things from scratch. A lot of what we do is either implement existing systems. So we didn't build Claude, but I would come to your company and say, we're going to install Claude. It exists already. We're just going to help you set it up, right? So it doesn't have to be our proprietary custom system. It's Claude being implemented into you.
Do you have general estimates for costs of things? Or like, is it just case by case basis?
It's a monthly fee based on the end state gaps. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, John, you had a question. Yeah, those were base level projects I just set up in Claude, just as examples, but you can set up as many as you want. Yeah, I figured those are the big ones. Estimating is a big one, crew, office admin, strategy, but it could be everything, safety docs. Well, thank you guys for coming. This is awesome. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it.